Hey guys, how you doing? It's Mark. I'm here in my garage and I'm about to do a unboxing review for you. This one happens to be for a new generator. And yes, I know what you're saying. You're thinking, I already did a generator review. Well, truth is, what happened is I ended up sending that generator back because it wasn't exactly the one I wanted. I was looking for something in the 4,500 watt range, and although that was, I was also looking for one that had like the remote fob start and stop feature, and that one did not have it. It did have the cool dual fuel source, propane and gas, but in all truth, in all reality, that's not what I was looking for originally, so I sent it back. And I just picked up the new one. I'm gonna flip this around real quick and show you what I got. And what I ended up buying is this guy right here, which is, it's actually from Westinghouse. Oh. And it is a 4,500 watt peak watt Westinghouse generator. And I guess Westinghouse is also partnered with I forget whether it's Cummins or Owen, but one of the big name brands. Westinghouse in its own right is very reliable. This one, however, does not have the dual fuel source, but not really important to me. What is important was that remote start, and apparently this one does have it. So I'm going to do an unboxing for you. Probably going to do this in a couple parts, and I'll splice everything together, and at the end you'll get to see the finished results. Alright guys, bear with me, I'll be back. Hey guys, it's Mark again, and I'm going to go ahead and open up this box behind me. Like I said earlier, the box is my new generator, my new Westinghouse generator. I'm going to go ahead and do some unboxing with this, with today's unboxing knife, which happens to be a refurbished steel mill file. Still has some of the rough file face on it. I forget the guy's name that did this particular knife, but I love this blade. This is freaking razor sharp. Nice rosewood handle on it. Very nice blade. Anyway, this is what we got. Let's go ahead and open this up. And we'll see if this whole video thing, this camera can keep up with me. Maybe, maybe not. Go ahead and aim it down a little bit. All right. So let's pop this open. All right. So very first thing I notice is inside the box comes with the manual. You know me, I don't like to normally read the manuals, but I am going to say that sometimes it's very important to get the first prep, starter guide information from it. So I will probably look at that a little bit later, but I want to get into the meat and potatoes of this. Packaged very nicely. Wow, this thing is actually bigger than the other one. If I were to set the two side by side, I would say this one's probably about 2 inches bigger in all dimensions. I'm going to flip this around so you guys can see it. And that's the generator in the box. Very nice, very nice. I'm going to go ahead and pull out this little side box in here. I hear something rattling around, must be tools. Okay, so it comes with the little generator, or the little funnel for the oil. It comes with, I'm assuming this is probably for the battery. And yes, this is the charger for the battery. Cool. Like I said, I heard this rattling around, a little tool kit. Oil filter, and then a bottle of oil. Okay, so that's the accessories. Anything else in it? No. All right, so I'm going to break away for a minute and get this out of the box, and I'll get back with you in a minute. Hey guys, so one little quick note as I'm pulling this thing out. I noticed that, I'm going to flip this around, that it shows evidence of, I don't know how much you can actually see of this, but there's evidence oil on the bottom of the generator. Ordinarily not a problem, because that tells me that at least they've tested it and drained it, and it's clean oil. It just probably dripped onto the bottom of the unit, and that's what was probably just in the container from shipping. Not that big a deal. One of the little covers came off, also not that big a deal. So I'm gonna flip this back around. I'll get back to you in a minute as I inspect it a little bit more. Hey guys, it's Mark again. On the generator, as I was going through putting this oil in this thing and everything, I noticed that I was running a time lapse, and I guess somewhere during the middle of the video, the camera decided to just kind of like wander off and then shut down. Apologize for that. So I'll show you later exactly how much of that I did get. But bottom line is, I added the oil to it, and as I suspected, they had already tested it and ran it because there was still a little bit of oil in it. I know that when you get things like this shipped to you, they always drain them, so when you go to add oil, always be careful not to overfill it. Check it a number of times, and rule of thumb is the oil level should come up to the bottom of the threads. As long as you get to that point, just stop. I pull the starter a few times just to kind of cycle parts a little bit, get the oil to circulate through it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put some gas in it, probably wheel it outside and give it a test to see if it even starts. Also, I know that I probably didn't catch that I found the proverbial remote for it. And this is kind of why I was trying to get one of these in the first place. Nothing worse than being out somewhere and having to get out of your comfy RV to go start a generator or turn the generator off at the end of the evening, which is one of the reasons I wanted this, so I can actually just sit there from wherever I'm at. Yeah, modern convenience, but why not? It's available. Damn straight I'm going to use it. Alright guys, so I'm going to cut the video, I'm going to put some fuel in this thing, I'll wheel it outside, and I'll come back and get you guys when it's ready to do, when it's time to get this thing started. Alright. Okay, so we're going to step outside and fuel this thing up. Well, I fueled it up already, but we're going to go ahead and try to start it. Have to step outside the garage. I'm not doing that in here. Air conditioned garage. Sorry, Mac. Boy, it's comfortable in here, but man, I got to step outside and do this in the heat. So let's go ahead and do that. So I kind of figured out why this seems a little bit bigger than the other one did. One of the things that I did figure out is this has got a larger gas tank. So the other one was 2.5 gallons. This is like 3.4. So it's a bigger unit, bigger fuel-wise anyway. Let's turn this around real quick. The other thing that I noticed on this one, as we get into the front panel of this a little bit, see if I can zoom this up for you. So if we look at it, it has a fuel cutoff switch, which is kind of nice. So when you're done running the thing, you can flip the switch over and just run the tank dry, or at least the petcock dry, so you can store it. And it has also, let's see if I can do this, a start-stop switch and a push-button switch. It has a 30 amp breaker for RVs. It has two 110 outlets. It also has a switch here for econo mode. There's a 30 amp breaker reset, and below that are the 110 breaker resets. Has a gauge meter right here to kind of give you parameters of what's going on with it, as well as a fuel gauge on that whole deal, which is kind of nice. That's a lot more than the other one had. Has a DC 12 volt or DC 5 volt quick charge for your cell phones and stuff like that. And then this little port on the top right here is for the battery charger to charge the onboard battery. So yeah, nice little unit. I'm going to go ahead and start this thing up and see what happens. From what I understand, this one's supposed to be like 10 decibels quieter than the other one too. I'm gonna click you off for a minute. You know what? Never mind. I'll just put you right over here and you can see what I see. How about that? See if I can get you in focus. All right, let's try this out, see what happens. So the very first thing we're going to do is flip the switch on for the fuel. We'll turn the power on. It lights up, which tells me the battery's good. So let's go ahead and turn it over a few times. Okay. I didn't even do that. It did it on its own. That's cool. So essentially, I think what happened there is it started turning over. There was no fuel in the line, so the fuel pump pumped fuel to the carburetor, which means this has probably got fuel injection, I guess. Yeah, and then it didn't start after X amount of seconds and shut itself down real quick, and then restarted the process again until it started. Very nice. Claim they run about 55 dB on this. I know that this is actually really quiet. I don't know if you can pick up the same thing I can. Fuel level shows that it's low, but it's still in the green. It's got 0 codes on it. F00, I'm not even sure what that is. And this is the load meter. It shows there's no load on it. Output is ready. If it was overloaded, this light would come on. If it had an oil problem, there's another light there that would come on. Yeah, nice unit. Nice little rubber covers on everything. Now you're supposedly able to parallel this one with another generator to, of course, increase your amperage or your output for this. Like say if you were hooking up to a 50 amp trailer or RV, you'd be able to run both generators, all of your electronics, everything inside of it. off the generator plus a parallel. This one, however, is just 30 amps, which is good enough for one AC unit and anything else in the unit that you have, according to what I've read on them. 4500 is about the biggest one that you can get, short of going to an actual in-place mounted generator, which I think is like an Owen 5500 or something like that. Plenty enough for everything I need. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it into eco mode, just to see what that is. That's economy mode. And there again, drops even quieter, less output. If you drew a load on it, it would kick it up, obviously. Very nice unit. So the ultimate question I have is, how well does the remote work? Okay, that is cool. That's almost as fun as the fun switch on the Blitz. I believe you have to hold it down for a second to restart it. So if you noticed, it came on and there was a little bit of a load on it. So there's an initial load at startup, but as soon as the generator caught up, the light went out, everything's fine. Nice unit. Definitely like this. I'm going to now set it up for storage. And to do that, basically all I need to do is flip off the fuel. Let it run for a second. It should essentially start starving itself. That'll actually run quite a while on what's left of just the carburetor, right? Or injector. It's got to be a carburetor. Yeah, that makes sense. It'd have to be a carburetor. You want to starve an injector. I hear a little bit of missing. We're probably right at the bottom of the bowl. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. All right. So, again, all right. So, to summarize, the Westinghouse iGen 4500 runs at 4,500 peak watts, 3,700 running watts. Remote start. Also has pull start, and it has the push button start for it. Nice unit. Comes with a little handle to pull out and haul around. I never did show you that part. Let me flip this around real quick. So when you're looking at this thing, Down on the bottom here, it has a featured. Interesting. Again, don't know how much of that you got. For some reason, my camera's been doing some interesting things lately. Like, yeah, that thing paused for some reason. I have no idea. And again, I'll have to look at the videos when I go to edit stuff and see how much of it actually got. But let me flip this around real quick and just do a quick summary, quick recap. Westinghouse iGen 4500 with remote start, runs about 5,500. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. About 55 decibels in standard mode, and even less in econo mode. It's 4,500 peak watts and 3,700 running watts. It has a 30 amp RV service, so rated for an RV. Has two 110 outlets at 15 amps, and also has a 5-volt DC charger for like quick charging cell phones or whatever like that. Has a shut-off gas feature, shut-off petcock. Has eco mode. This is a nice unit. This is definitely a lot nicer than I expected it to be. The way I see it, these days I don't mind paying a little extra to get a little extra, right? Anyway, I'm gonna take a look through this video and see what I can salvage, what I can edit. I'll upload in a little bit. Until then, peace out. You guys have a great day, unless of course you've made other plans.